Hello class 10th, welcome back to your English class. As we have finished the test of our last chapter, so we will continue with the first flight only, and we are going to do the next poem from that book, The Bowl. After reading the title of this poem, you must be thinking that it's a very light-hearted poem, right? Because it is about a toy, so it is very easy to assume that it is about a child or joy of childhood. But as we will read the poem, the seriousness of the topic or concept will come forth, right? So I hope after teaching this poem, I would able to give the message that the poet wants to convey to you, right? So let's start reading the poem. Let us know something about the poet first. The poem is composed by John Berryman, who is an American poet and scholar. He was a major figure in American poetry in the second half of 20th century, and his best known work is the Dream Song. The poet, born on 25th October 1914, and he died on 7th January 1972, and he is considered a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. Now we are having this pre-reading section. A boy loses a ball. He is very upset. A ball does not cost much, nor is it difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy so upset? So here the poet is telling that a boy has lost a ball and he is very upset. The ball is not very costly, nor it is very difficult to get another ball. Then why the boy is so upset when he can easily buy another ball? Read the poem to see what the poet thinks has been lost and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. Now we are going to learn it in the poem that how an ordinary event of a child's life is described as a deep learning process of life by the poet, right? So let's see. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? So here the poet is explaining that what is the condition of the boy? What is the state of the mind of the boy who has lost his ball? What is he thinking now when he has lost his ball? What is he to do? What is he going to do when his ball has been lost? How he is going to be reacted? What will be his reaction when he has lost his ball? I saw it go. The poet is telling I has been used here for the poet. The poet is telling that he has seen its going. How the ball went away from the boy, this incident has been evident by the poet. The poet might be standing at a distance, or he might have seen the boy playing with the ball. So he is telling that he saw how it went away from the boy, merely bouncing down the street. Merely bouncing means happily jumping. The poet is telling that it went jumping up and down and it looks happy. What does the poet want to tell us? That it does not affect the ball where it has gone. It is happy. When it is in the hand of the boy, means when the boy was playing with it, it was happy. It is still happy that it is gone away. Down the street, after crossing the street, and then merely over. And it is crossing the street merely. It went and it went in there in the water. It went inside there it is in the water. It went inside a water body, and maybe it's sea, because in the next line the poet used the word harbor, and we know harbor means port. So it went, and we can also realize here that the water body is deep because the boy cannot get it back, right? So maybe it is sea. So it went into the sea happily on the bank of which the boy was standing. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. Now the poet knows that it will be useless to tell the boy that there are other balls or he can buy other balls. And why he thinks it is useless? An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, because an ultimate shaking grief means because the boy is in complete grief. He is a complete sadness fixes the boy. Ultimate grief shaking. Shaking means a complete sadness has shaken him from inside, and he has fixed to the place where he was standing. As he stands rigid, the boy is fixed there. He is not moving. As he is standing rigid, he is standing still, stiff. He does not move. Maybe he doesn't want to move. Trembling. Trembling means shaking. Shaking with grief, shaking with sadness. Staring down. And he is staring down at the place where he was standing, from where his bowl has entered into the water. All his young days into the harbor. And why this incident has shaken him internally? Because he has lost his favorite bowl. And his young days. Young days here are symbolic. They are the symbol of his childhood memories, which are associated with the bowl. And that bowl went into the harbor. Those memories went into the harbor where his bowl went. I would not intrude him. Intrude means going to a place where you will not be welcome, where you are not allowed or permitted to go. Right? So the poet is telling, the poet knows that he will not be welcomed by the boy if he would go to console him, because the boy will not like his consolation. And why he would not like? Because he was in a deep grief at the loss of the bowl. So the poet knows that he would not be welcomed by the boy if he would go to console him, because the boy is in grief. A dime another bowl is worthless. So the poet is telling it is useless to console him by giving him a dime. Dime means a coin that uh, worth 10 cents. So the poet is telling it is useless to offer him a coin or another bowl. Now he senses first responsibility. Because why it is useless? Because he is in grief. Another bowl cannot take place of the bowl that he has lost. Maybe the bowl is his favorite toy, or maybe he had played with this for many days, so there are memories attached to this particular bowl, and that's why another bowl will not give him that sense of belongingness which that bowl will give. So the poet is telling it is useless to offer him to buy another bowl. Now he senses his first responsibility. The phrase first responsibility means first time he is experiencing loss. This is his first loss, maybe in his life. And after that first loss, there's come first responsibility. First responsibility to understand that in a world of possessions, that the world is full of possessions. Possession means it is full of things which we possess, we own, we achieve. It can be any toy, it can be anything that we buy, it can be any relation, it can be a job, fame, success, right? So the poet is telling that the world is full of possessions, full of things that we own. People will take balls, ball will be lost always. People will get things, People will keep on buying things. Balls here doesn't mean the ball we play with. Balls means possessions, right? Possessions. In childhood, we possess toys, so we feel bad about the toys when we lose them. When we grow up, we'll possess the relations, and we feel bad when we lose any loved one, right? When we grow up, we start doing jobs, we start getting success, then we feel bad if we lose all these things. So, the poet is telling people will get things and those things will get lost one day. We cannot keep on crying over the loss. So, it is our responsibility to understand that this is the word of possession and we will get the things and those things will get lost. So, this is the reality of life. Balls will be lost always, means those possessions will get lost. We cannot keep them forever with us. So this we have to understand, and no one buys a ball back, and no one can buy those things again, right? Because with money we cannot buy it, because money is external. Money can buy materialistic things, but the emotions or memories or sense of belongingness that are attached to something cannot be bought back. So the poet is telling money is external, money can buy only materials. He is learning, and the boy is learning now. And how does the poet knows? Because the poet well behind his desperate eyes, because the poet has seen that well behind his desperate eyes. Now his eyes are desperate over the loss. Still he is learning. The epistemology of loss. Epistemology of the knowledge. And what is he learning? He is learning the knowledge of loss. He is getting the understanding about the loss, how to stand up. He is learning how to stand up, how to bear the loss, how to face the reality. After knowing what every man must one day, after knowing what every man one must know this one day, most knows many days, and most of the people understand this after many days, that how to stand, how to face, how to bear the loss. So the poet is telling now, after having that first loss of life, the boy is learning that loss is evident. We cannot avoid it. If we get something, it has to be lost one day or the other. So we need to be brave, strong, and face the hardships, right? And everyone will learn it one day, right? So the poem conveys that we have to face and bear the loss, and we have to see the reality of life. So a very beautiful and ordinary incident of any child's life has been described into a very deep learning process, right? I have told you at the beginning of the poem as well. Now, how these writers are having this beauty that in their writing piece, that they can relate any ordinary concept to a deep learning or a deep values which a human need to get mature, right? That is because of the use of literary devices. Now we will learn what kind of literary devices have been used in this poem. First, we are having personification. You all are very well aware that personification is the figure of speech which shows attribution of a personal nature or human characteristic to something non-human. Means when living being characteristics are shown or described in a non-living things. So ball merely bouncing down the streets mean the poet describes the ball merely bouncing down the streets. Merely means happy, merry means happy. So it is a human characteristic which is given to the ball. So personification is there. Metaphor, it is a literary device in which a word or phrase is symbolically applied to a thing to which it is not literary applicable, right? So balls will be lost always. Here the poet, balls here symbolize the possession which we lose, right? It young days It also refer to the childhood, which if we lost, never come back. So in this way, the metaphor has been used. Then we are having repetition. It is a literary device in which a word or phrase is repeated two or more times. What is he to do? Here, the word what is repeated. Next, we are having alliteration, occurrence of same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. Who has lost his ball? So, has his, her sound has been repeated. What is he to do? What was sound is repeated. No one buys a bowl back. Bur sound is repeated in buys bowl and back. The deep and dark floor of arbor. The sound is repeated in dark and deep. Move my mind, my heart move with all that move me. Ma sound is repeated in the whole line. Next, we are having symbolism. It is the use of symbol to represent ideas or qualities. As in this poem, bowl is representing the childhood possessions, right? And young days are representing to, are symbolizing to the childhood memories, right? Anaphora, use of repeated words in two or more lines. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? Now here what word has been repeated, then merely bouncing merely over. Again merely has been repeated in two lines, two consecutive lines. So use of anaphora is there. So this was our poem. I hope you understood. Textual question will be given to you in the PDF form. We will meet in the next lesson. Bye everyone.